Thank you for tuning in on Rising Icon on Intellectual Radio and iHeartRadio station. Sponsored by Sin Chicago, My Chocolate Soul, and G Clothing. G Clothing sponsor us, and the website is officialgclothing.com. So today we're going to talk about chocolate, Cuban coffee, and Cuban dancing. We have Romana, who is our sponsor for My Chocolate Soul.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Hi, Essen.
Hi. Okay, yes. How are you? I'm ready to ask anything.
Okay, great. And then we have Sulama. So Essen is a Cuban dancing instructor, and Sulama is a big fan of Cuban dancing. So we're really going to blend everything in together, a little bit about food and dancing. So let's start with you, Romana. Give us some idea, how you start a company, how you get in the industry, why chocolate?
I love chocolate, and I always have since I was a little girl. The business is now over 7 years old. So I'm a trained mathematician, and I worked in education for 18 years. So I kind of spent a lot of time in my life developing sort of that one side of my brain and didn't really sort of explore my creative talents. And I always loved baking, and I took a French pastry class, and it opened up the world of culinary for me. I never thought about going into food or never even thought about owning my own business, but I took this class. I guess it's now been 8 years, and I thought, wow, pastry chefs get to create these desserts that people love, and dessert is my favorite part of the meal. And I thought, I could do this. I'd love to do something that brings people happiness and joy. And so I started the business thinking I would do a bakery because I'd been baking for so long. And I took my first chocolate class at the end of 2010, and I loved it. I mean, I really loved it. It sort of unlocked this gift that I didn't know that I had, and this passion for making chocolate. And I've been making chocolate ever since. I launched the business in 2011, and we do all natural chocolate. So we don't use preservatives or artificial ingredients. We don't use corn syrup or coloring or anything like that. And we make a range of everything: truffles, caramels, candy bars, turtles is one of our best selling items in our store. So for me, it really was just about a passion. I really love sweets, and I wanted to make sweets that were delicious, but all natural and that didn't have crappy ingredients that you see on, candy bar labels and things like that.
That's so great. So it's healthy chocolate.
For the most part, yeah. We use imported chocolate. We use about 8 to 12 different dark chocolates. We use milk and white, and we make a range of traditional flavors to very contemporary flavors like lemon basil. We mix cilantro and lime.
Do you do custom chocolate?
We do. We do custom chocolate bars, like chocolate business cards. We do things with people's logos. So if you have a business or small business or even a large business and you want to promote your business through chocolate, we do that as well.
Oh, that's really awesome.
Thank
so
you.
You started in Chicago, right?
Yep, we started our business in Chicago. So we have a store in Uptown. It's at 4442 North Broadway. We also have an online store, so people around the country can shop online. It's mychocolatesoul, SOUL.com. And I think in the 7 years we've been in business, we've probably shipped to 30, 35 states and 2 different countries. So we started with the online store before we actually opened the brick and mortar. So we do continue to run the online store. And then we do corporate gifting, and we also do events and catering. So if you're having a wedding or a gala and you want to do event favors, something like this, we do that. Or if you want to have platters of chocolate.
Oh, we have a beautiful box right there in the front.
20-piece box. It kind of displays some of the flavors that we make at the store. But we do a range of things, from gifts to catering to custom chocolates.
Yeah, your package is so beautiful, and I love the logo you make. It just looks so delicate. I don't even want to eat it.
No,
but
you should though.
I know, right? But I love that's a combination of art and food together.
Thank you.
So it's your eyes eat it first.
It's true. We eat with our eyes first, so we want the chocolate to be beautiful. And one of the trends in chocolate right now is that a lot of chocolatiers are using color to make the chocolate stand out. So you'll see chocolates with orange food coloring or blue or red. And for us, we don't use any of that. We really want the chocolate to kind of stand out on its own. So we try to use natural garnishes like nuts, or we'll, pipe chocolate, and we also use pretty shapes. So we use nice molds that have different shapes. And that's kind of how we get the chocolate to look really appealing and very pretty, but still keep that natural, good intention, sort of the good ingredients in it.
Yeah, and I love it. Personally, I don't like the chocolate is way too sweet. I grew up in China, so the chocolate, like the dessert, we tends to not have that much sugar in it. I do not know why. After I moved here, I always feel like, wow, these chocolates, they're so sweet. It seems like they put a tons of sugar in it.
It's one of the things that you find with a lot of commercial chocolate. So what you might buy in the grocery store or your Walmart or Target will definitely have more sugar added to it. And I think chocolate is actually made geographically by taste palettes. Kind of like if you've ever been to Atlanta and you go to the Coca-Cola factory, they have different recipes for Coke all around the country. It isn't the same. So chocolate's kind of the same thing. There's different recipes for different nations in terms of the palate. And the chocolate that you'll find in most stores in the country tend to be sweeter. We actually use chocolate from around the world. Most of the chocolate we use, our standard chocolate comes from Belgium and France, but we also use chocolate from Ghana and Mexico and Ecuador and Madagascar.
And I believe they taste different, right?
They do. Yeah, depending on where the beans are grown, some will have like fruity undertones, or it'll have like woodsy undertones, almost like wine. Depending on where the cocoa pods are actually grown, it'll take on sort of the aroma of that farm or that region. If you get beans from Costa Rica, they're going to taste different from beans in Ecuador or Venezuela.
Oh, I love it. Can we do a chocolate tasting at your shop?
We should, absolutely. We use 8 to 12 different chocolates. We don't add sugar to our chocolate. So most of like our truffles and bonbons don't have added sugar to it. The only thing we add sugar to are things that we cook. So if you have a caramel or if you have like our toffee, those are things that we cook that we do add sugar. But if you eat any of our traditional chocolates, they don't have added sugar to it. So whatever is in the chocolate as it comes to us, which does have some sugar in it, we don't add any additional to that.
Yeah, that's why I love your chocolate. I fell in love the first time I tried it. I'm like, wow, this the flavor remind me of my childhood when I first taste chocolate, because I lost my love to chocolate a little bit, because each time I eat it, it's just way too much sugar. It made me feel like little bit want to be like, oh, that's too much. My body can't handle it.
I understand. I do. Well, I'm glad you found something that you enjoy that reminds you of your childhood.
Well, thank you for making it.
And you can now eat chocolate again.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm going to do a lot.
Thank you.
But so you mentioned that you're going to have an event coming up.
Yeah, so
for Mother's Day.
Two things I wanted to talk about. One, anybody who's still looking for a Mother's Day gift, who's shopping early or even at the last minute, definitely check out our website, mychocolatesoul.com. We do amazing gifts for mothers, and Mother's Day is coming up in like 2 or 3 weeks. And I don't know anybody's mom who doesn't like chocolate, so it's always a great gift. The other event that I really wanted to promote is we are located in the Uptown neighborhood of Chicago, and with the Uptown Chamber and the Buena Park Neighbors Association, they're sponsoring a wine walk. And so this is sort of wine and chocolate go well
that's
together.
Perfect match.
Yes. So it's this Sunday from 2 to 5. If you go to exploreuptown.org and you do /toast, or just go to exploreuptown.org, you'll be able to buy tickets. It's from 2 to 5. There are 14 businesses participating. My Chocolate Soul is one of them. And essentially you register, you get a wine glass, and you walk around to the participating places, and you get to try at least 2 different wines at each place. And different places will have different snacks. We'll actually have chocolate to go with our wine. So we're going to pair the 2 wines that we're going to have with chocolate.
I love it.
And other eateries will have different snacks and foods and pastries.
I'm bringing my
girlfriends. Like yes, it's one of those things like, I know everybody's kind of bummed out about the weather we've been having, but wine
snowing.
makes the
so
heart
I need to keep myself warm.
But wine makes the heart merry. So regardless of the weather, definitely come out. I believe the tickets are $30. And again, you get to try up to 28 wines. I think each participating venue will have 2 wines that you can try. So it's a great event. Again, it's this Sunday from 2 to 5, and it's exploreuptown.org.
I'm curious. You mentioned about why. Actually, the first thing come up in my mind when you talk about like the different flavor of chocolate, and the first thing come up in my mind is like, wow, is the best match for chocolate is wine.
Mm-hmm.
I personally love wine, and one of my friends who is a French girl, she taught me how to taste wine. So it would be really interesting that like put these two pairing together.
Agreed. And we've done a couple of events where we've paired wine with chocolate. And we're actually looking to work with a couple of local wine business owners where we hope to be able to do some more business where we pair our chocolates with wine. We do it for events, and we'll definitely do it for this event coming up on Sunday. I believe we'll have a white and a red. So we'll pair the red with one of my favorite dark chocolates is a 70% pure couverture. It's going to be really amazing. And then for the white, I'm not sure what we'll do. We'll probably do something a little on the sweeter side, but not super sweet, something with milk chocolate and, some kind of ganache. Maybe we'll just add kind of an herb to it or something like that. So I love playing with chocolate and herbs. That's just one of my things. Like we do something with basil and we do something with cilantro, and I'm working on something with rosemary. I like that with citrus.
You love the adventure, right?
Yeah, it's a great way. It's just a great way to add a different flavor to chocolate, but still have it taste like chocolate.
It sounds really fun. I know last time you and I have a conversation about I personally really want you to have a class so I can learn.
We're working on that.
Yeah, that's another thing. Then you did mention one thing I'm really curious. You mentioned that make like people they're good at cooking, they're actually not really good at making dessert. People good at making dessert might not be good at cooking. So that's a different technique.
It is. It's a different skill set too. Baking is definitely more of a science. So pastry, like if you put too much dry, too much liquid, your dessert's not going to come out well.
I fail every single time I try to make a cake.
When you cook, especially if you're a savory cook, when you cook meat or potatoes or whatever, you can kind of season to taste, like however you like it. Baking is more scientific. You have to have the right flour to, baking soda, baking powder, right? The ratios have to be on. Chocolate is somewhere in the middle. You need the right environment. So you need the right temperature so that the chocolate sets at the right temperature so that it looks really pretty and doesn't have streaks and things like that. But chocolate's kind of in between savory and pastry, and that there is a little science to it, but you can also experiment in ways in terms of, measurements to get it to be exactly where you want. So for example, with some of our chocolates, if you want them to be creamier or softer, you can use less chocolate and more cream. If you want them to be nuttier and softer, you can add more nuts and less chocolate. So there are some things that you can do with chocolate that's kind of like cooking, or you can play with ratios and not have it be, totally messed up. But if you're making a cake, and you add too many eggs, or
I have that experience.
Yeah.
If you guys want to learn how to fail on making a cake,
follow the recipe. There's a reason the recipe is there for an example. Yeah, but savory, and it's funny because there are pastry chefs who don't really like to work with chocolate because, again, you need the right environment in terms of temperature, and you need to understand how to temper chocolate and get it to the right level of crystallization. And some pastry chefs don't enjoy that, especially if you work in a place where you just don't have sort of the right environment and temperature for chocolate.
I remember there was a TV show or movie I watched back then talking about making pastry.
Mm-hmm.
So they mentioned about the temperature. Even some people, they need to make a really delicate flour or like a piece added to the cake, like from chocolate. The hand could not be too warm.
Exactly. It'll melt.
Yeah.
It'll melt.
It's really interesting.
So you have to have, depending on who you talk to, different chocolatiers will tell you different degrees, but, anywhere from 65 to 68 degrees, which is really cool. But that is, sort of the ideal working temperature. And if you work in a restaurant where they're cooking and doing savory food, you have stoves and ovens, it's really hard to work with chocolate, under certain circumstances. So there's a little science, but you can also experiment as well.
Well, thank you for teaching us. That's a lot of information.
Thank you. Well,
And
I
then,
mean,
and then you eat it really fast.
exactly. Like you put all this love and time and attention to it, and then people
Yeah.
just gobble it, in like split second, the whole,
That's why
box is
this
gone.
making chocolate is an art. It's not like what we look at like, oh, it's chocolate. Like I love it. I love enjoying the taste and everything. It's the work behind it, the knowledge behind it is phenomenal. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll just say one last thing. I mean, our tagline is spreading joy through chocolate. And so for me, I really want people to have an amazing experience when they eat our chocolate. So it's not like just getting your regular like candy bar from the grocery store. Like I really want people for the 2 seconds or 10 seconds or however long it takes them to eat a box of chocolates or a candy bar. I really want them to sort of go to a different place. Like I want them to be happy. I want them to just feel like they have 10 seconds of pure joy. So we put that, I think, into every piece that we make.
And I really love the name you created. It literally just well represent you and your business is my chocolate soul. When I hear the name, the first time when I heard the name, I was just, oh my God, my heart melted a little bit. And when I met you in person, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so sweet. So it really is, it's lots of love you put in there. It's your love, your passion.
Very much so.
Yeah. The one more thing I want to ask is you mentioned you started not like in a physical location, right? You make it at home or
No, so
you make it in a kitchen?
Yeah, so in Chicago, you're not allowed to sell food that you make out of your home. So there are these things called commercial kitchens. So there aren't that many, but there are a few throughout the city where you can rent commercial kitchen space. So you can get a license from the city. It's called a shared kitchen license. And essentially you rent the space with other small businesses, which is a great way if you're starting to kind of test your concept to see if people are going to even like what you make before you make the investment of getting a brick and mortar store. So you can rent the space by the hour. Some will negotiate, monthly time, but it's a great way to start a small food business and, really test your concept and build your clients. And so I did that for almost 6 years before we built our space in Uptown.
Yeah, thank you. I think lots of food lovers want to know and, they have the skill. They want to really take on to start their business as well in the food industry. So my question is, what kind of struggle you experience?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
we
because
don't have enough time. Time is one of them. I mean,
I can have you come back the next time.
Yeah, we can
because
spend
I
a
mean,
whole
like,
hour
wow,
on,
that's
like,
the
the
business
struggles of
because
small business.
it's so inspiring to hear your story from like you start from education and transfer to a completely different industry. You learn everything and you run a kitchen to make it the product and then you ship it. Because I know chocolate is going to melt easily. We talk about temperature and everything. And you started it and you make it full for 7 years. Now you have a location in Uptown. That's amazing.
Thank you.
So I think it's really inspiring. Lots of people probably want to know a little bit right here and there, little pieces, so they can learn from it.
Well, thank you. I would say my top 2 or 3 struggles, and you'll hear this from a lot of small business owners and entrepreneurs. Time is one of them. We're small, and at one point I had a team.
Never have enough time.
You don't, and you wear multiple hats. So each day you're trying to figure out, what's the priority. For me, it's always customers. So production and getting orders out and fulfilling orders is always going to be a priority. And what that means is, bookkeeping. Like I just spent the last 2 weeks getting receipts ready for my accountant for tax day tomorrow, like because that was something that kept getting pushed back, right? So it's always prioritizing. And for me, I always prioritize clients first, like just making sure people's orders get filled. And then everything else is second. So it's tied with finances and bookkeeping and, maintenance and facilities and, marketing should always be number 2. But I have to be honest, it doesn't, always bubble up to number 2.
Also, because, I own a business as well. And I also believe when you do good work, your service, people will know you, people will come to you.
I agree. And
personally, I don't love to spend too much money on advertising myself.
Exactly. So part of it
is
money,
like gambling.
And part of it is time, right? Just figuring out where you put your marketing dollars and how much time you spend on Facebook. And, the challenge too is really knowing your clients, right? Because you can advertise on Facebook, but if you're really targeting corporate clients or event clients or wedding planners, they're not necessarily going to find you on Facebook. So it's really understanding your clients and sort of how they find you. And you're right. I think when you provide a good service and a good product, people tell other people. So I would say a lot of our new customers come through us through other people. They receive the chocolate as a gift, or they move into the neighborhood and people say, oh, we heard we had to come to you. And so that sort of word of mouth for me is still, I think, the best advertising, which is why it's really important to me that every customer has a great experience. And if they don't, I ask people to tell me, like, if your experience wasn't great, tell me how I can make it better. Like, what can I do to, make it up for you? Usually it's shipping, but can't control the post office. That's a whole, different story. But so I would say the challenges are time. And then right now I'm sort of on the cusp of growth. And so capital for me right now is an issue. As I grow and I'm trying to automate as much as I can in terms of there's some
and building a team, right?
Yeah,
to manage all the orders.
Exactly. So those I would say are sort of the top challenges, is sort of capital for growing this and really expanding, and then thinking about staffing in a smarter way than when I had a team of 6 last year. So those are kind of my current struggles. I would just say for other entrepreneurs and business owners, I think the different stages, and you can sort of talk to this based on your own experiences. I think when you're in different stages of your business, the challenges are different. So your first 2 or 3 years, you're just trying to decide what your brand is and who your customers are and how you let people know about you and how do you build that quality that, you're trying to get out there. And then I think when you're in years 4 to 6, you're struggling with growth and maintaining everything that you did in the first 3 years. And we're now kind of in the 7 to 10 years. So we're kind of really focusing a lot on growth and just really sort of exploding that, because I feel like we have a really good foundation, but sort of how do you take it to the next level? And I think that, at least for me, the challenges in those sort of 3-year spurts are just different.
That is so great, because I believe lots of people, they want to start business, they need to know this information. Lots of people, the mindset is like, oh, how can I start? And then when they start, they don't even know how to start. And then when they start, they're thinking about how to make money.
Mm-hmm.
But they lost the focus on, like, okay, that's a stage. You need to really focus on, like, okay, the first 3 years, then the 6th year, and you're like, like expanding. How can I expand? What foundation I need to build? What I want people to know me about, like what's about us. And then, okay, now I need a team. How can I build a strong team? And you cannot grow the business by yourself. So this is so great. And thank you so much for sharing that.
I hope it was helpful. Thank you, Wini, for having me on your show.
Oh my God, this is so exciting. I'm going to bring you back to talk about business next time.
Okay.
I love you. Like, first time I met you, I love this woman. She's so sweet. And also the other thing is quality. Like, the food is you eat. Like I mentioned, when I have your chocolate, I just feel in love with chocolate again. It made me feel like, oh my God, it's healthy. It's not make me feel like uncomfortable. There's food, like you say, out there, the popular chocolate big company brand. You get sick of it. You just like eating it. Even you have a craving, you take a bite. You just, well, I'm doing this to myself. You know what I mean? Oh my God, just eat something really trashy.
Thank you.
So.
Thank you. I want to use that quote, "We made you love chocolate again." That's awesome.
We melt your heart.
That's awesome. I love it. Love it.
Thank you for sharing all of this. So then let's move on to our Cuban people right here. So we talk about a little bit chocolate. So first off, give us some idea. Like, do you guys have any, like, I know the Cuban coffee is really popular.
Yeah, for us, it's not chocolate. Our national drink is coffee, but they were both chocolate and the coffee were hand by hand between the 16th and 18th century until completely the coffee was taken over in the island, because the independence war inside the island, they devastate all the cocoa plantation. But we still have one city who have a lot of cocoa and cacao plantations there, like Baracoa, and they export a lot the chocolate. But
yeah, people, if you go to Cuba,
yeah,
you go to Cuba, you want to find chocolate, you can only go to that city.
and we are really sweet people. We like sweet, like sugar cane is our another primer.
Sugar cane?
Exactly, sugar cane, and all our sweets are really. The chocolate is really sweet. The coffee is really sweet. Everything is sweet. And then
The people really sweet.
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, and we try to avoid also hot things. Even the coffee, we drink just a shot. Because it's a warm place. You don't walk in the street with a full cup of something hot.
But
or
that's the culture
chocolate.
difference. It's really
Exactly.
interesting.
Here it's nice have something hot. In Cuba it's nice something cold. To walk in the street or kind of.
And you guys do shot.
Yeah, we do just something a shot down. That's it.
You're not like holding coffee, walking everywhere, like taste it.
Yes, give us energy to keep working, dancing, whatever we have there. Like that's our energy.
Like it's
But we
time to
love
take a
chocolate.
shot.
Yes, chocolate for me, the best is in ice cream. Like I love it because it's cold.
Oh, that's really interesting.
And if I can mix it with something baked on top of the ice cream, I do it. I love it. But
I think the whole world loves the Cuban coffee. All
yes,
my friends love it. I haven't tried it because I can't drink coffee. I can't handle the caffeine.
I have to drink like a three cups of coffee every day. Obligatory. It's already in my veins.
But anyway, so the point is I'm having you guys here is we want to learn more about your culture and who you are. And you are a Cuban dance instructor.
Yeah, I'm a Cuban dance instructor and dancer, which is one of my struggles. Like
Why is it a struggle?
because when you want to do something, you think you have to give your 100%. And if I'm still or teaching or dancing, I don't focus yet in one of both. Oh, sorry. And then I think to me to really go 100% to teaching to the dance, I have to kind of let in the side the dancing because it's not the same being a teacher than being a dancer. I still have contracts with companies dancing here in Chicago, and when I have a free time, I teach, which I love. It's one of my
So
passions
what do
in
you
life.
prefer better, like being an instructor or being a dancer?
Both. That's one of my
That's
struggles.
tough. Oh,
Yeah, I love both. I'm still young. I want to keep dancing, but if you don't start something right now, I never gonna build some future teaching. I say I am been like 5 years already in Chicago, keeping these two, the dancing and the teaching, hand by hand at the same time, and because I like both. Since I graduated in Cuba in the National Art School, I become a teacher in the school and a dancer in a company at the same time, and I always love both. Yeah.
give us a little bit background about you and Sulaiman as well. Like I know you both really passionate about dancing, like especially like share with the world about the Cuban dance. Like
Cuban
how
dance.
how you guys started?
Yeah, no, I meet Sulema in one of another Cuban teacher class, and since then Sulema started coming to one of my classes that I teach in a club, salsa, and then from there she went one of the studios I rent for teach Cuban salsa too. And since then, Sulema have been amazing, helping me in promote the class, spread the word to the people. I think she loved the classes. She likes it. But yes,
But how did you start it?
in Cuba. I
Yeah,
started
how
in Cuba.
like did you start it when you were young,
I
and
started with 9
how
years
did
old.
you get into this whole industry?
I started with 9 years old. I was a very active kid, and my parents. I tried every sports. My parents just want me to get tired, to fall asleep early, and they tried dance. And one day I say, Papa, I wanna dance. I wanna go to this group with a bunch of girls, and I went there, and they tried me do some elasticity and flexibility exercise, and I passed the test, and from then I I fell in love with the dancing. I lost my energy, like I get tired every day, and since then is since I have 9 years old, I never stopped dancing
So
since
did you
now.
want to dancing school, or how is the structure looks like in Cuba?
Yeah, you have to go through a program first in your city. You
And
have
I remember you guys mentioned earlier is like art and dancing actually is one of the top career in Cuba,
yes.
right? It's not like the other part of the world.
No, it's not. For example, here is pretty much a hobby. In Cuba, they really pay attention to this, to art, to sports. Cuba, we are a small island, but we need to be known in the world. If we
About
go to the if
your
we go to the
culture
Olympics game, Cuba have to be
on the top.
with at least 2 or 3 gold medals. And that's the way um, our government think. About put the name of our country high, even if we are small country, and the same with art. I had to decide really young what I have to do for live. This is my career. It's not my hobby. I dance since I have 9 years old. I graduate, and then I join a company, a professional company, and right there I start, traveling around the world, visiting different countries, sharing the Cuban style of dancing um, all around the world, until I decide to stay here in US and share all my all that I know with the people, different communities, and build my life by my own.
Yeah. So was your parents really proud that you are a
Very,
dancer?
very, 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 very. They
They
support
were
me.
so supportive, right?
Yes,
I can
all
tell
the
from
way,
your face.
all the way through. My father was with me from the beginning because my mom is kind of more. She have a lot of sickness. She's more in the house because she can take sun or something. And my dad was with me the whole time, going to the events, put him in the bus, and then my mom in the house. She was there, like doing everything behind the curtain. Was my mom there, the support, like getting ready my lunch, all my clothes clean, my socks, everything. My mom was, I
Well,
think,
you got the
and
full support from your
and my
parents.
sister. My sister, I have a smaller sister, which is she went through with me all this. We live together until I stay here. We both living in one room. Like my mom and my dad bed there. We have a double bed, me and my sister. Everybody living in one room, and I am. They support me all the way through. Like
That sounds like a
I
really
I
lovely
still, yes,
family.
my father wake me every time after every show in the back door of the stage, hug me, kisses in front of everybody. No, no, this no, like they are the best thing that happened to me in my life and in my career. Like sometimes does not happen, but in my case, I have the full support of my family. Like
That's
and
so beautiful.
they feel really proud.
Yeah, I believe lots of artists, even the kid in all around the world, they really love to have their family to support them to chase their dream and do what they love and passionate about fully 100%.
Yeah.
That's really beautiful and thank
And it's
you.
important that you like it, because if you make your parents know that you love something, I think it will be hard for any parents to take that away from a kid, because you can see it in your eyes, and they can tell, but what you like, what you love. They watch me going through baseball, soccer, martial arts, everything, and was a different look in my eyes when I tried dance, and I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know.
so
It was the environment. I don't
what
know.
brought you here?
What by me here, like like all the struggles, like are in the side
The
of
struggle in
the,
Cuba?
yes, in the country side, outside of your career, is also like live together in one room could be something fun, like it make you stronger as a parent. But in some point, you need
So it's also
different place to live.
yeah, an expansion for your personal growth, right?
Exactly, and in Cuba, it's not too. You don't have your salary is not enough to buy your own apartment or even rent outside of your parents. uh, you need to wait until your parents died to take that house. You know, because it's really hard. It's really expensive. My salary in Cuba, I say before I have as a principal dancer, same salary as a doctor.
Wow.
Same. 40 40 Cuban pesos, less than the president. That's
But the doctor, I know that you guys don't have to pay for medical bills, right?
no, no.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is the salary. That's the
Yeah.
highest. You know what? How much is this? How much is this in dollars? $30 a month. You know, and the house is still same price than here. You it's gonna be hard for you with $30 a month buy a house in your whole life working. Because from those from that salary you have to also buy food, or even if the government help us with some supplies of food to eat for free, but still toothpaste, soap, all those shampoo, all those things are $2 here, $2 there, and then when you see it's like no saving.
Yeah. Well,
No
thank you,
saving.
Kelly. Bring the whole Cuban, like the whole Cuban world to here, like the culture and the
Yeah.
community, how that really looks like to live there and growing up there.
Yes.
And we welcome you to come to Chicago and share your culture with us. So let's get back to dancing. Sulama, I want to hear a little bit from you. You were born here and you have that passion. Like, give us some background of like how you get into the dancing and what you see yourself.
Yeah, so I was born here of Cuban parents. So my dad grew up. My dad was born in Guantanamo, and he was a director of an art school, a visual plastic art school in Santiago de Cuba. And my mom grew up in Holguin, and they met in La Habana. My mom was studying medicine. My dad was studying art in San Alejandro. Um, and that's where they met. My brother was born there. They got married. They stayed there, and then they came to the United States. And my sister and I were born. And here in Chicago, so Edson's talking about or teaching or dancing as a professional. For me, living here, it's like living one foot in the United States and one foot in the Caribbean, or in not necessarily in Cuba, but with that culture at home. And so at home, there was a lot of art, a lot of music, and dancing. And my two parents come from different backgrounds with dancing as well. My dad dances all the time. And then my mom comes from a more conservative, her dad was a Christian pastor. And they was more conservative, but my mom always danced as well. And so,
Oh, I remember I met your mom. Did you?
Oh yeah, you did.
Yes, I
Yeah.
did. I did.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so it was always in home, but out in I could never find, outside of my mom's Cuban friends who were here at the restaurants, the bars and stuff. I could never find like my community for dancing. And then I found, so there's different for dancing. I'm sure Edson can tell you the curriculum of the dancing, but there's the folkloric dancing, there's the classical ballet dancing, there's the contemporary dancing, there's the traditional Cuban Latin style dancing, and it's different from other Latin American dancing. So even if I would go to Latin night or whatever, it's not the same as ours. And so, when I found one of the dance classes of folkloric dancing, it's also called Afro-Cubano dancing. And that for me, it was, the best thing. And these teachers are very, Edson's very modest. They're amazing performers and choreographers as well. And so I would also go to the class, but then also go to their performance. And it's like, I don't know, I don't have words on how to say what the experience is like, because it's, sometimes when you listen to classical music for whatever reason, or when I like hear or see a violin or a piano playing, I'm like moved, to tears. And so watching some of these performances, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know what's happening. This is amazing. Why am I crying?
Or could be you connected to your root, like that's where you're from, that's who you really are.
Yeah. And so the passion, behind the teaching, so the classes that I go to with my friend, and and they have, it's not professional classes. I'm not a professional whatsoever. I will never perform at the professional level, but they bring a similar,
Environment?
environment, character, look at us as less than or lower, they welcome all levels, like all different levels, all different, wherever you are in dancing, however comfortable you are with your body or not comfortable, if you know the moves or don't know the moves, it's like, come here, make a mess up and learn and have fun, but learn it well, like you're gonna learn it good. So yeah.
Is the class have different level? It's like a beginner, like started from there, or you can like teach the basic?
Yeah,
at this point?
I'm trying now a beginner class on Mondays, but that is brand new class. Like I just have 2 months doing that class because most of the people are asking me, we need a basic class, a beginner's class.
Yeah, I can move. You better start with basic.
Since I've been here 6 years, I am teaching one class every Sundays, and it's a Cuban style, of salsa. Sometimes I teach rumba, sometimes Afro-Cuban, different popular dances from Cuba.
Do you have video on the social media, YouTube or something that we can share so people can learn about different type?
Yes, like YouTube have everything. You put Cuban
but
dance.
We want yours.
Exactly, yes. Yeah, we go to my Facebook, Edson de Cuba dance classes, Edson de Cuba dance classes. And
wait, slow down.
Edson de Cuba dance classes.
Okay,
that you go there. That's my Facebook page, and I have in the albums of videos, you will see multiple videos of me teaching in the studio and giving the classes.
Yeah, so everybody can get a good sense of what we're talking about, right?
Exactly.
Because I know, like right now, everybody's flooding to Cuba. They want to learn about it. They want to know more about it. But at the same time, is when you like travel there, you're a tourist. There's not much you can learn.
Exactly. No.
And like Sulaiman talk about, it's not about watching it. It's really you are being in it and be a part of it and start moving and really listen to the music, like what type of music this is, and then what kind of movie match and the name you guys have for different kind of like move, right?
Yeah.
Like to me, like I barely dance. So and I learned about bachata. I learned a little bit about what's the other one?
And bachata's not
bachata, merengue, but that's not Cuban. That's more Latin.
Right? It's so funny. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's like Chicago, for example. The Cuban community here is super small. It's very small, and that's why.
What can we find you guys then?
Yeah,
me and Victor. We are the only teachers in Chicago.
Yeah, but like, where you guys
Cuban
locate if we want to get some nice Cuban music?
Yeah, so what I would suggest, which is perfect, it's for this conference that Edson is putting together. There's the different style dances, and so it's a 3-day dance workshop conference. And
the one.
Yeah, this is something I wanna share with everybody. I have a workshop the 27th, 28th, and 29th of April. At the end of this month, at Dovetail Studios in 2853 West Montrose Avenue in Chicago. And there I'm gonna have a unique experience. I think it's first time that this happened in Chicago, because most of the things that happen in Chicago about Cuba is music, like groups from music who came to the Cuban fest or different things, but never is dancing.
Are you going to
Teaching.
serve?
And
Are
I
you
would-
going to serve Cuban coffee there?
No, no, they don't allow in this studio like sell nothing. But I will have some water, energy bars, like for the people be active because are really physically classes. Like you are gonna be working hard. Like if you are not interested in the movement, you can go to do fitness and you're gonna be fine. You're gonna lose some calories there in the class. But we're gonna start at 5:30.
So is that different type? Because when I look at that, it seems,
Exactly, yes.
and I see that you guys have 4 different instructors.
Yeah, we are gonna be 4 different Cuban instructors. Me and 3 more wonderful ladies, awesome teachers too, young like me, and we are gonna have a unique experience because we're gonna have 9 classes in those 3 days, 3 each days, and every class are gonna be
9
different.
classes
9
in
classes
2 days.
in 3 days.
In 3 days.
In 3 days. And
So
then
how long is one class going to last?
hour and 15 minutes
Hour and
each classes.
50. Okay.
And we're gonna have every class are gonna be different classes.
You want to share a little bit on that?
Son cubanos, salsa suelto, bailes populares, rueda de casino, yoruba, some orichas there, rumba cubana, reggaeton.
You look at
congo.
my face. I'm like, I don't know
Congo.
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's why most of the people are not gonna be familiarized with this
So it's
until you go.
like really a brand new
Exactly.
dance
And the
like you
weekend-
guys bring into Chicago.
Yes, and the weekend
Wow.
will be also with live music.
Mhm.
We're gonna have drummers in live, which a group name is Ire Elesia Bure. They are from here from Chicago, and they play amazing music, and completely the dance change when it's live music. Is you're taking no one way experience, you're taking two way. You're taking the movement, you're taking the rhythm, the sound, the energy. The energy is unbelievable, and we will do the best we can to not only make you have the best experience of your life, but also learn something. Even if it's an hour and 15 minutes, something like go with you for your whole life. Even if we do one step at a time, you're gonna go with that step for your whole life.
So
No.
does people need to purchase the package altogether, or they can choose
You can choose
the
yeah.
one they interest and just do that
You can
session?
choose. We have a advanced registration, but online, which you have the full package, which is all 9 classes. You have
For
the
all 3
weekend,
days.
exactly. You have the weekends, the packet. You have the 1 day package. You have 3 separate classes, and then at the door we have.
What is the
little bit
free
more.
class combo?
Is if
You can choose free classes that you like, you
exactly.
interested. Okay.
Exactly between the 9 classes.
And then if they cannot get ticket on time when they show up at the door, they can still buy
Exactly.
tickets
You
right
pay
here.
on cash. It's a little bit higher the price than the pre-registration, but still just like a $2 more. It's not a big difference. It's just
That's so much fun.
exactly. And
Do you want to show us a little bit more before we end the show?
show me? Yeah,
I don't think we have the music, but
I'm gonna give me a number between 1 and 9.
I pick
Yeah, you
one,
pick.
1 to 9. I pick 6. That's my lucky number.
6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Rumba cubana.
Oh,
Rumba
sounds
cubana.
sexy.
It's a lot of shoulders
It is.
and movement of the hands, and the men try to seduce the woman in the dance way.
Okay, sounds like that's a
Uh-huh.
couple dancing.
Exactly.
Does people
It's-
need to bring their partner?
No, not necessarily. We can dance separate, but we can go together and dance together too.
Is the guy going to lead?
No, rumba is more about both. Is a conversation, and following the rhythm of the drums. You respond basically to the drums. Is another person, the drums. Is the groups and the drums. Is you by yourself and the drums.
Is there
Have a
some
very-
basic film move that you can teach us?
Yeah,
I just
look,
like
side by side.
Do you want him to stand up?
Yeah, please.
Sí, vamos para acá, arriba. ¿Dónde me pongo?
Right here,
Aquí
come over here.
enfrente.
Right
Put
here.
the chair in a little bit.
Because the
Aquí,
camera.
Yeah, I think we
The
can see
Cuba,
you.
la-
Am
la
I in the
rumba.
way?
The
Yeah,
Cuban
no,
rumba,
you're good.
the
Okay.
basic, you're gonna move a lot. You're gonna have a constant bouncing in your legs. Okay. This came from Africa. Okay. The arms I'm gonna came from Spain. Then the arms to the side, a lot of hips and shoulders. Aye. And then I try to seduce
That really looked like a good
partner,
workout.
and then el bagunao, yeah, and a lot of footwork, clean the shoes. It's a lot about style and the way you walk in the street. You know, it's not a cold weather; it's a hot weather. You know, the way you walk is different. That's how you dance. You know, the smile, the connection. Look your eyes. You are into me, and then the baguno, yeah.
I love it. This is so good. I love it. So I'm coming.
Good.
That's just the Cuban rumba.
Yeah, it sounds really fun, and it sounds like wow, you're going to make me really sexy.
Yeah.
I'm like just looking at it like wow, if I can do those moves,
You
that's
can.
it. Like other guy
You
can.
can do it. Everybody can do it. Yes.
You think so?
Everybody, yes.
Oh, okay.
You know, some people have talent. Like you're born with a talent. Some people need to practice more than other one, but you can do it. You know, it's no. If you really like it, you spend time. I always say to the people in my classes, here you are not gonna learn in one day. It's like everything. I would be lying to you if I say you are gonna come out of this workshop dancing perfect. No.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a wonderful experience, but you need to, on your own, research it. Go to Cuba. That's my best advice for everybody.
Yeah.
Keep coming to more classes. Watch
Yeah, if
videos.
you
play the
want to
music in
be-
your car. You know?
Yeah, if you want to be expert, you want to really learn more, like go for it and come. If you just want to have a great night, come as well. We're going to show all this information on social media, including Romana's event on this Sunday, right? So we're going to share everything on Sin Chicago and our Facebook page, Rising Icon, Winnie Wu and Friends. And thank you again for being
you so
here.
much,
It's so
Winnie.
much
Yeah.
fun.
Thank you, Winnie.
You're welcome. We'll see you guys next Monday. Thank you.